even after having the idea of getting himself harmonized, we have a long process of trial and error methods. In our astral plane, individual astral activity, we do many good attempts to lift ourselves up in the religious levels, in the political levels, in the levels of the sociology, psychology, politics, etc. But every time, the trouble is, we try to keep the identity of our activity different from that of others. Then it comes to an end, and it ends in failure, and it gives an opportunity to select something better. Again, we try to select some better, a new guru, or a new mantra, or a new meditation, a new procedure, or a new book, a new scripture, or a new conversion into another religion found from the other. Like that, we try from the various methods, shift from one method to the other method, because we are not satisfied with what we are doing, because the needful is not catered. Every step gives some development or other, but the development is on the individual plane and the personality level. At best, from the individuality level, we come to the personality level. And the best way of commercializing the things at hand can be understood, but not more than that. If we practice virtues, we practice them to commercialize. That is, to behave as a good man among you, and to live smoothly, and to have some good name, and to utilize it. Like that, even the virtues are used for a market purpose. Up to that, we can do it, generally. If we practice good habits, we practice them to know ourselves better from others, better than others, or to be noticed as someone better than others, or to be known by people, etc. The commercial commodity at first may be power, and then maybe money, and then afterwards a more costly thing, maybe name, fame, or importance. Like this, there are steps in our commercial play with our virtues and spiritual practice until our attempt to lift ourselves is made. And once we get at the right path, which is only one. There are no two right paths, there is only one path. And the path is known by many thousands of names differently by people who live in many places, because their languages are different, their expressions are different. But when many people from many places meet, they have the difficulty of having different terms used for the same values sometimes. So they have to come to a closer understanding of equating the terms, so that the experience is equated and identified. After passing all these difficulties, we will come to, it is very necessary for us to come to a text, a small little textbook which is of a universal value, and by knowing the terminology of that book, we will be able to have a common communion of the same subjects among us. Fortunately, we have two books like that. It is the Patanjali Yoga Sutras and the Bhagavad Gita. And luckily, the two books use the same technical terms, not too different, the same terminology. For example, yoga, chitta, prana, all these terms are used, similar terminology are used in both the textbooks. The only difference is the book of Patanjali gives us the practical instructions to practice the yoga and attain perfection in the training. in the Bhagavad Gita, apart from this, something more is given. That is, after practicing yoga, after attaining the perfection in yoga, after the lower self is absorbed in the higher self, it is our duty to externalize the higher self into the lower vehicles and mechanisms and live a life of the higher life. This, our life should be an expression, an utterance, an actualization of the soul. That is the other half which is given in Bhagavad Gita. The first half is given in the Patanjali Yoga Sutras. This is the connection between the two books, Patanjali and Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita is Patanjali and something more. But Patanjali uses a more clear and more expanded and more practical procedure because it is exclusively a textbook on yoga practice. Bhagavad Gita is sometimes concise about the concepts given in Patanjali. This is about the two textbooks.